So in today's video, I wanted to show you a little bit how to set up a new garden plot. I have some new land that's enclosed in fence that I want to get set up, so I thought I'd bring you along for that. And this morning, as I was looking for some more stakes to mark out my garden places, God impressed me that I could make them out of firewood pieces. And it just dawned on me what a great idea that was, since I'm always looking for some nice stakes and how to make those quickly. It just dawned on me, it's like, hey, thanks God. I'll show you kind of what how I'm making them and see if it's something that would work well for you. So the kind of stakes that I like to use are something fairly sturdy, something that I can tie a string around or my tape measure to mark out the plots. And so getting big hefty chunks like this that are not too tall. These are about 12 inches in length. See here, my foot is always a good measurement here. Yeah, they're about 12 to 13 inches in length here, which actually is what I cut my firewood to. So that actually just is a good idea there. So I was looking around, well, how can I make stakes out of firewood? And so I was looking around, look for some straight grain. This is some maple here. It's fairly straight grained. Something that'd be fairly easy to knock out some stakes out of this real quickly. So these on the block here. And see here, this is the smaller side here, so it's a little more stable. It shifts off here, it's always helpful. So I just want to try to get about a 1.5 inch size stake, so hit it about there. Okay, so get a chunk like that. Now I can chop this up into probably 2. Put this over here. About that. That's too big, so I'll hit it again. Okay, so kindling size. That's pretty good there. These are, they're obviously not going to be uniform, but I don't really need them to be. I just need them to hold fairly strong. So got a nice stake like that, and there's 3 of them right there. And let's see here. Where's my other? I think I was working off of. Where'd that go? See it? Oh, there it is. Okay, here's the other part of it here that went flying. We can do some more pieces here. There's another good one there. Okay, so see very quickly, I got 4, 5, 6, 7 stakes right there. Now, of course, they need to be sharpened a little bit. They don't go in the ground very good. So, grab my hatchet and put one up here. So I always find the smaller side. And so I just want to knock off the corners real quick. Spin it around. Just knock the corners off like that. Do another one here. Find the bigger side. So, just kind of making a kind of a blunt tip, but something that'll go into the ground and hold. So that's pretty much it. So I got a nice stack of stakes here. I can go put them in the garden. I'll show you how I'm doing that. So I'm going to move the bucket here. It's a convenient way to fit a bunch in there and carry them with you. Otherwise, you're kind of bundling them in your arm and dropping them. And so let's go. Alright, so here's a new area that I'm working on to set up to grow soybeans and potatoes. It's more just a little field area. So I covered it all with leaf and grass, whatever else was the mower was able to pick up, dumped it here just to smother the grass. And I'm going to measure off from my fence line, and that will be my guide to how far or where to place the stakes to make my beds, so to have a growing area that's nice and orderly and neat. So the main tool I use for driving stakes is a 3-pound sledgehammer. This is mainly used in blacksmithing. That's the original purpose, but works excellent in the garden or farm for driving stakes. It's a good size, and it's a good short handle for moving around. It isn't overly heavy, but it's got enough weight to really whack those stakes into the ground quickly and not waste time. The other thing I would recommend is this is a 200-foot rapid rolling tape measure. It's got a good end on here that grabs onto stuff. This is used for either forestry, for measuring length of trees, or you can measure out property with it. It's really good in the garden for measuring out stuff, and also laying out beds to go the perimeter of a bed, so that you can see where the perimeter is when you're laying out compost or mulch or something like that, where you easily want to see where the edge of the bed is. So as you can see here, we have our fence line, so I'm going to measure out to that. This is my inside fence, which keeps the deer out, my deer fence. So I'm going to measure a good walkway of about 3 feet from that, so I can get a wheelbarrow down easily down the end of this, and then I'll start measuring out my beds in accordance with that. So lay it out here, about 3 feet, which is there. So this is where my stake is, the first stake is going to be. So down about that far, probably about a third of it should be in the ground, so it's nice and stable. And then I'm going to measure. Now this is the tricky part to remember. When you do your walkways, you want to measure between the stakes 1 foot. At least that's what I'm doing, is 1 foot walkways. And when you're doing measuring the bed, you do from the outside of the stake. So it's going to be from the outside to the outside of the next stake. So if this is my other stake, I'm not going to measure to the inside of the stake, I'm going to do to the outside. Because when I do my circumference around the bed, I'm going to be using the outside measurement. And when it's doing between, I'll show you the pathways in just a minute here. But so 30-inch beds, which is the standard in the small farm industry. It's really easy to work with, and I recommend that for your home garden as well. So that is 2 feet 6 inches, and I'm trying to get it nicely lined up here. Okay, so throw a stake in there. Okay, nice and stable. Then the next one's going to be a walkway. So I'm going to set my next stake out here. I'm going to go from the inside here of this stake over to the inside of the next stake. So I want to put this at 1 foot right there. Hold it right there, and then move over until I hit approximately the edge of it here. It's going to be a little difficult because it's at more of an angle, but I can pull it up and kind of see that it's close enough. It doesn't have to be exact to the ½ inch, but try to get it as close as I can, obviously. Oops. and kind of sight down your row here. Look down at, make sure all the stakes are in a line. If they're off, don't just leave it. Yank your stake and try again, because otherwise it'll get off down the row. Sometimes you have to keep measuring over to another position, to another right angle, to make sure you're not off by so much, because otherwise it causes problems. So again, we got our, from the outside to the outside is our 2 feet 6 inches, and then from in between the next two stakes is your walkway of 1 foot, and then the next one will continue on this side of it. We'll pull over till we get to, grab another stake, set it over here at, get in alignment here, so right about there. So to the outside, not the inside, but the outside is going to be at your 30-inch mark there. Oops. Okay, so there's our next one there. And it's a little bit out, so we'll knock them over. There we go, perfect. Okay, that gives our pattern there, and just keep going along and do the same thing on the other end, and then we'll have our beds laid out. So the bucket also makes it nice for storing your sledgehammer and your tape measure, so you can just grab them and go.
Thanks for watching. If you want to see more videos like this, please tap the subscribe or like button right now. Don't forget to rate this video and leave a comment or question, and share these videos with your friends. I will see you on the next video. God bless.